What are the world's largest aircraft? We all know that the A380 is the world's largest passenger airplane and will continue to be for some time. But what are other planes that are considered to be the largest and the biggest? Make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out. Hey guys, welcome to another amazing video from Aviation News. Today in this video, we'll be taking a look at the top 10 largest and the biggest airplanes ever built. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to make sure you never miss any updates or videos from us. Now let's get started. Number 10. Stratolaunch. The Scaled Composites Model 351 Stratolaunch is a Stratolaunch aircraft with the full name of the Scaled Composites Model 351 Stratolaunch. This massive double-fuselage plane has the world's longest wingspan, measuring an incredible 117 meters. The closest behind this today is the AN-225 at 88.4 meters. It was meant to launch a rocket weighing up to 250 tons into orbit between the fuselages. The 747-400 serves as the basis for much of the technology, as well as 6 engines. The 2 fuselages are each 73 meters long, and the pilots sit in the right-hand cockpit, in case you were wondering. The unpressurized left side is just utilized for equipment. The initiative has been delayed, most recently following the death of its originator Paul Allen in 2018. Cerberus Capital Management, the aircraft's new owner, planned to repurpose the plane into a launch platform for reusable hypersonic flight research vehicles. The Stratolaunch resurfaced in April 2021, 2 years after its first flight and soared to fame. Number 9. Hughes H-4 Hercules. The Hughes H-4 Hercules was among the biggest airplanes ever built, but only one prototype was ever completed. It's a flying boat transport that was created for service during World War II. It has the capacity to transport 750 troops or 2 30-ton M4 tanks. It did not take to the air until 1947, after the war was over. It is propelled by 8 Pratt & Whitney engines and has a wingspan of 97.8 meters. It had a wooden fuselage to save metal during the war period, earning it the nickname Spruce Goose. The prototype made test flights, but it was never put into service. The Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum in Oregon, USA has it preserved and on display. Number 8. Boeing Dreamlifter. Boeing's redesigned fuselage transporter is known as the Dreamlifter. The fuselage is based on a stretch 747-400 with a unique tail swing door that allows complete access to the fuselage. It was built to transport Boeing 787 parts from Italian and Japanese vendors as well as U.S. locales to final assembly plant in Washington and South Carolina. The final Dreamlifter was put into operation in 2007, and there are currently 4 in the fleet. It's a big plane, yet it's outperformed by others in terms of statistics. In terms of fuselage volume, it trails the Beluga XL. It's also shorter than the Beluga XL in the 747-400, although the 747-8 is faster. Its 4-engine 747 base has a payload that's significantly higher than the Beluga XL, but much less than half that of an AN-225. Number 7. Airbus Beluga XL. The Beluga XL is a modified version of the Airbus A330 rather than an aircraft type. As a result, some may wonder if it belongs in such a list. Whatever you call it, it's one of the largest planes you'll ever see in the sky. It's the largest in terms of volume. It has a 2,209 cubic meter fuselage volume. Boeing's Dreamlifter, by comparison, has a cargo capacity of 1,840 cubic meters. The Beluga XL and its predecessor, the Beluga, were designed by Airbus to deliver aircraft components. Airbus has always divided aircraft productions across multiple locations. It was founded as a cooperation of numerous European manufacturers to compete with Boeing. The Beluga was developed in 1995 and was based on the A300 airframe. It was primarily used in the development of the A340. In early 2000s, the Beluga XL based on the A330-200 was released. Its larger size was required for both the A350's larger components. 3 planes have been delivered so far, with 6 more scheduled to be delivered by 2024. Number 6. Lockheed C-5 Galaxy. Continuing with huge cargo planes, the C-5 Galaxy is a top contender in terms of size and payload. It is a military transport aircraft that was constructed by Lockheed in the United States and entered service in 1970. It was based on existing successful transports such as the C-130 Hercules, but required more space. It is larger than that of the A380 and the AN-124 with a length of slightly over 75 meters. It has a payload capacity of 125 tons and in-flight refueling for long range. Although numerous large transports have followed it, it's still in active service with the U.S. Air Force. A good example is the Boeing C-17 Globemaster, which is large but not as large as the C-5. Lockheed was also intrigued by a replacement that was much larger. The so-called VLST, or Very Large Subsonic Transport, was proposed in the 1990s, but never implemented. A passenger version would have 2 decks, 4 aisles, and be capable of transporting up to 900 people. Number 5. Antonov An-124. The An-124, which is made by the same company as the An-225, is a smaller freighter than an An-225, but one of the largest commercially built freighters. It first flew in 1982, and 55 planes have been constructed since then. It was the biggest commercially produced aircraft until the 747-8 was introduced. 33 An-124 aircraft are still in service as of April 2022. 7 are operated by Antonov Airlines of Ukraine, 12 by Volga Dnepr of Russia, and 1 each by Libyan Air Cargo and Maximus Air Cargo of the United Arab Emirates. They see odd freight activities on a daily basis, such as the transit of maglev trains from Germany to China. Number 4. Antonov An-225. Shifting away from passenger jets, the Antonov An-225 cargo is one of the largest planes you'll ever see in the sky. Only one of these is functioning, but a second is still under construction. This aircraft is the heaviest and has the largest wingspan of any operating aircraft. There are also 6 engines and 32 axles on it. It was first released in 1971 to transport Buran, the Soviet Union's counterpart to the space shuttle. The shuttle would be placed atop the plane with sections of the rocket fitting within the enormous fuselage. It has the biggest payload of any airplane, weighing in at 250 tons. As a result, it has stayed in use and has found certain specialized applications. Number 7. Boeing 7779. It seems reasonable to include Boeing's future 777X, given that test aircraft are flying. At slightly over 76 meters, the largest type, the 7779, will be the world's longest passenger airplane. It'll have a normal capacity of up to 426 passengers, which is similar to the 747-8. The 777X is a twin-engine aircraft, unlike some other passenger aircraft on our list. These latest GE9X engines are the biggest and most powerful commercial engines ever produced, measuring more than twice the length of a 737 fuselage. The 777X will usher in a new era of ultra-large, ultra-efficient twins. For a long period, 4-engine commercial planes are unlikely to be seen again, but there may be more breakthroughs in this field. We'll have to wait a bit for the 777X to be used by airlines. Engine troubles and structural testing challenges have caused a delay in development. Due to the pandemic slowdown, there have also been production delays. Orders totaled 320 in May 2021. Qatar Airways hoped to take its inaugural flight in 2023, although Emirates, by far the largest customer, could wait until 2025. Number 2. Boeing 747-8. Of course, the 747 is another very large passenger airplane. The 747-8 is the largest version currently available, being just over 3 meters larger than the A380. However, with a usual capacity of roughly 450, it has a reduced maximum capacity of 605, which is the maximum exit restriction. It also has a reduced wingspan of 68.4 meters as opposed to 79.95 meters, which is advantageous because it expands the number of airports where it can fly. Until the A380, the 747 was the world's largest passenger plane. This has been its defining feature since its inception in 1968. It was created with the help of Pan American World Airways, or Pan Am. The airline had seen achievement with the 707 and sought to expand on that with a new plane that was more than twice the size. It was originally designed with a full-length top deck, but this could not be accommodated due to safety concerns. Number 1. Airbus A380. By passenger capacity, volume, weight, and wingspan, the A380 is the largest passenger jet ever built. However, the 747-8 as well as the impending 7779 will outlast it in terms of length. It has a maximum passenger capacity of 853 people, but a usual capacity of 400 to 550 people. Such a large capacity displays a world-class engineering achievement. However, for airlines, it has not panned out as well as intended. With its hub-based approach, Emirates has been a success, but most airlines have failed. The aircraft's potential was harmed by the rise in capability of twin-engine aircraft in the transition away from hub-and-spoke operations, and the slowdown experience following the events of 2020 has clinched its destiny for several airlines. Regrettably, it is struggling to find a new purpose as the number of retirees rises. Only Highfly has embarked on a second-hand aircraft for chartered usage, but it has since been retired. Its freight market potential is limited by its design, and while it would make an excellent private aircraft or VIP transport, its size and constraints have so far prevented this. Perhaps this will be an eye-opening glimpse at some of the world's largest planes. Remember that there are a variety of methods for measuring such planes, and numerous others may have made the cut. Let's know what you think of these airplanes in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.